The Mac is back. My knee is a balloon.
His knee was a balloon.
No refunds.
Oh yeah, this fight, we were so hyped. We're like, UFC is back, baby. Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. We couldn't believe it. We're all like yelling. We're like, hell yeah! And then he takes one elderly leap, and his knee is blown to smithereens. And he tried to get up and kick again. It just fell down. And Max Holloway, what a nice guy Max Holloway is. He's like, "Are you okay, brother?" And he like wouldn't punch him, let him get back up. And then he's at the ref. He's like, "Come on!" And then they stopped it. Most anticlimactic main card ever. And the worst part was all of this card of UFC 329. Like the announcers were like, "Look, it's Conor McGregor." They were showing clips from like 12 years ago. They're like, "Conor McGregor, he's back." And then like the fighters that were about to fight, they wouldn't even talk about them. They would like show them for like a split second, like they're like, "Oh yeah, there's no name about to fight, but who cares about him? Later, there's Conor McGregor." And they did that all night, only for Conor to go, "I'm here. I have a mohawk. I'm gonna take one little jump, and yo, my knees." His little knees are crying. What do you think, brother?
I think it was pretty obvious he was hurt. Like he had trouble. He had to like put during the weigh-ins. He had to like put on his shoes and like he made everyone wait. And then he was doing the spinning kicks in the back, and it was like he was seemed a little unstable doing those warm-up kicks, and then he kind of tripped like when he was getting his shoes off right before the cage pull
There's
out. I want
there's
the money.
conspiracies going around that like maybe he's already injured and he did the like, well, I'm gonna do a big silly jump just to like look like I hurt myself so they pay for everything. But then and there was like footage when he's taking his shoe off, he kind of stumbles when he's walking to the cage, like you said. But I mean, maybe he just off balance, right? Because like you're trying to take your shoe off right before the fight. But like Connor himself said, no, there was no injury, like in that quote. Like I was like, there's another thing where he's like, I practiced that kick like day in and day out, and like in the training camp, like because I was trying to surprise Max with it, and like never an injury, even backstage, I was good, right? So maybe it's true, but maybe he's lying and he was injured and he knew. But like he was sweating like a motherfucker and looked worried as fuck when he was walking to the cage. I remember I made a comment like, man, he's a sweaty motherfucker. He's like standing in the cage. He looked all scared. But
He
Max
for sure
Holloway,
knew. Same, he admitted that with Dustin when he broke his leg in the Dustin fight. He in the notorious Netflix special I watched, he admitted he went into that fight knowing there was a chance there was a hairline fracture. McGregor never pulls out. He wants those pay-per-view points. And honestly, Uncle Dana is happy because at the end of the day, it's the biggest gate ever.
but it was disappointing. Like they sold this fight so hard throughout the whole card. It was like every 5 seconds, they're like Conor McGregor later. Do you know about Conor McGregor? Conor McGregor. And then this happened. It was like so fucking stupid. I mean, he's getting old. You know what I mean? Like, it probably wasn't the best game plan to be doing all these crazy jump kicks on your steroid-ridden elderly knees. You know what I mean? He tried to be Conor McGregor of old for us. You know what I mean? He did the mohawk. He's like, I'm a young lad from Ireland. That's what he's trying to do. But Father Time, it beats everybody. Like, here's him falling. Like, no, my knee was as big as a balloon. Like, and Max is just like, ah, fuck. Like. I mean, it's great for Max because like he didn't have to do anything, gets a win, he gets paid. I think at the end of the fight, he's like, "I make him weak in the knees." Are so cringy. Max is not the
He said
best
that, ugh,
striker.
what a gay
Yeah,
boy.
he's like, "Got to do it again, makes you money." Like all the fans are like so angry walking out, and they're like booing and stuff. But yeah, not much more to say. The McGregor fight, man, we were so hyped for this. We're like, oh my God, McGregor. He actually showed up at least, right? Like after the Chandler like pull out, we're like, we don't believe he's fighting until he's in the ring. But he did that part. But now he was all like he found God, but now it's the devil's fault. He's gonna be at church. Maybe he goes back to drinking. But he has one more fight, and he's gonna fight bare knuckle. So his time
Well,
is over.
Mike,
But the fight before this, while also quick, was actually entertaining. Paddy the Baddy and BSD Benoît Saint Denis, or how you pronounce that Frenchy name. Yeah, the Frenchie thought he had better grappling, and he tried to just like he just immediately ran for a takedown at Paddy, and Paddy just like locked like did a guillotine. He did what Dustin Poirier always wanted to do. He actually guillotined someone and submitted him. He like used his leg and like it was like pretty brutal. And like Mike Goddard, oh there he is in the picture too. Mike Goddard's such a terrible ref. Like Paddy like had to tell him. He's like, dude, he's out. And then Mike Goddard's like, what? And he like lifted BSD's arm and then like it fell over. Like, oh my God. Mike Goddard's like, oh my God, it's over. Like I didn't realize that it was over. It was super fast too. So that's why we're like kind of disappointed at the end of the card. Although this was an earned one. He actually submitted him. Like Paddy the Baddy's the real deal. What do you think, brother, about this one?
love how you mess up. You're like Chael Sonnen, like Mark Goddard and Saint Denis. Like that's too funny. But
Look at the Frenchie right there. Look at him. He's like face down with his feet up. He's like, ew, the French are defeated yet again. Britain versus France.
Paddy was saying that he was going to retire if he couldn't beat Saint Denis because he was saying in a podcast like, after the loss to Gaethje, he was kind of feeling bad and like if he can't beat Saint Denis, then it's like, he wants to be world champ. But then when he saw Gaethje beat Ilya, he got a kick in the ass and like he's like, all right, like maybe I'm better than I, but I have to beat Saint Denis. So this was like a huge like for Paddy, this really mattered for him, and to finish in this fashion is pretty impressive. Like I think like he could be champ if he could. Armin and him is a very interesting fight, honestly. Like I'm kind of really
Mhm.
looking forward to like Gaethje getting out of the picture, and then it's Armin versus Paddy.
Armin doesn't
There,
even fight. Like he just wrestles and tries to bang you to drama. He doesn't fight at all. He's just an influencer now. Yeah, one day if Armin fights. But you're right, Paddy versus Armin. Paddy could win. Paddy's jiu-jitsu is very good. He kind of has shit grappling, but then Armin has good grappling. He's gonna want to wrestle him, and Paddy might get him with the submission. So that's what BSD tried. He's like, my grappling's better. So he tried to like, just take him down, and Paddy just destroyed him. Paddy did that to Bobby Green too, and, like instantly choked him out. And but yeah, like I could see Patty's point. Like if you lose to the French, like being beat by BSD and losing to French would have been demoralizing. Maybe you should retire. But no, he beat the French. He did what was supposed to happen.
yeah, you can't take a breadstick up the bungus.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was good for Patty to see that. And he like ran up on the camera right after. He got his like he looks kind of creepy. He got his face like right up in the camera. He's like, hey Patty, you Patty. But yeah, he's the new he's not as entertaining as Conor McGregor, but at least he's trying to be entertaining. Like his like walkout song is like that like techno EDM song though. It sounds kind of fruity at first, but as it starts going, it's kind of good. And you got like the whole stadium going. So but I wish it was a longer fight, after what happened with Conor McGregor's old knees, but it was still entertaining. But yeah, it's pretty much all now. Another quick one. The next fight was Cory Sandhagen and Mario Bautista. This was a pretty good fight. It was very like they're both very good. They're both good grapplers. They're both well rounded. They both like lost to the Daggy, like Umar, the little short one. But it was both very close, and they both almost won. So like I wasn't sure who was going to win this. Like Sandhagen was kind of winning in the beginning, like he was piecing him up a bit, but then Bautista like did this weird like roll and he like grabbed Cory Sandhagen's leg and like twisted it and tweaked his like leg and then Sandhagen was like injured after that. And Bautista he stunned Cory where he looked like he was gonna get knocked out, but Cory has a fighted him and he recovered and he fought to the end, but like he couldn't really move around and Bautista just beat the crap out of him kind of after. But it was a pretty good fight. What do you think, brother?
Like when Bautista like put Cory Sandhagen under arrest, he like put his arm up behind his back, like you're under arrest, bitch. And then like Cory's like, no, I'm not. Like it's kind of a funny
Oh
moment.
yeah. Oh yeah, like yeah, Sandhagen was on his stomach and he just like you're right, he like grabbed one arm and just pulled it up. He's like, you can't move. What are you gonna do, Corey Sandhagen? Like what is all your striking do for you now? Yeah, he trains with Trevor, what's his name? Trevor Whitman, the coach, the same as Justin Gaethje, Corey Sandhagen. But yeah, they're both good fighters. I mean, that fight maybe could have gone another way if his leg didn't get tweaked, but Bautista's the one that did it. Like he did like this like unorthodox grappling to fuck with Corey's leg. So it's a good fight, well earned. But yeah, not a whole lot to say in that one. Nothing too hilarious happened, but it was a good fight. Um, yeah, the next fight was my brother said it's fight of the night. I didn't see it. I had to go take a poop or something. I forget what I was doing, but yeah, I let my brother talk about it. But
Oh my God. These cracked up Oompa Loompas, man. Oh my God. They were just like little psychos, little meth heads going at each other. It was like back and forth and like they're both like rocking each other and like I mean it was just like honestly it gave me like Rory McDonald Robbie Lawler vibes where it's just like a fucking like I mean it was just impressive. I mean you like you didn't want anyone to lose. It was just like my brother missed it. I'm like how can you miss this fight? This is
I
like the
know.
best
In
fight on the
retrospect,
card.
I feel bad for missing it because other fights were short and Connor's was like a millisecond. So I wish I had watched it.
It was a great fight. Like honestly, they're both fucking warriors. Like oh like Jesus Christ, man. Like these guys like even when he was getting choked out there, he like didn't he waited to tap out so far as soon as he tapped when he let him go, he like went out. because he was trying to survive as long as
Mm.
he could, you know?
Do you think it's worth rewatching after? I might have to. It sounds that good.
Yes, you must be watching this fight, dude. Come on. This is like one of
Yeah.
the best fights of all time. This is in my top 10 fights of all time.
Really? Yeah, that's quite something. Okay.
It's near
Wow.
the bottom, probably 9 or 10, but it's there. It's that good of a fight.
Yeah, these little short kings often put on these great fights because they're like little like two like alley cats like thrown in a closet. They're really fast and like they just have all this cardio. It's like nonstop pace. It's like pretty crazy. So
It's
it
funny
was
you said that.
yeah
Anik said something. He was trying to read a promo, and he even said during this fight, "They're striking so fast, they're making me rush the promo."
yeah you can't even react to what they're doing because they're already like done 10 new things since yeah because there was that other fight with the Japanese guy and who did he fight? I can't remember.
Joshua Van.
Yeah, Joshua, and that was another amazing fight, right? So like, I guess I didn't learn my lesson. I skipped this one. The Little Short Kings. I need to watch all these fights. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Oh, but so the prelim. Oh, we're skipping Bobby Green's fight just because we don't give a shit. I mean, it's
He's
Bobby
gay.
Green. I mean, he's not bad. It's just like it's Bobby Green. Come on. But anyways, moving on. So Robert Whittaker, here's him looking the most ferocious he can. He's a feared opponent. But he moved up to light heavyweight, and we're like, we're not sure how this is gonna go for him, right? 'Cause he might be slower and such. And he fought Nikita Krylov. I'm probably butchering that, but whatever. I'm giving the college try. But like, I was worried for him for a while. I'm like, the other dude's so much bigger. The commentators were saying like, yeah, Robert looks like a little short. Like he looks too small for the division, like compared to him. But then he was so fast. Nikita Krylov. I mean, Nikita Krylov. He tried to like grapple him in the first round. He got him down, but didn't really do anything with it. And then he was like exhausted after, and Robert just pieced him up. And he like kept stunning him, but Nikita wouldn't give up. But eventually, like he hit him so hard he fucking like broke his jaw or dislocated or something. Nikita just waved it off. He's like, "No, my face." But yeah, it was a good fight. It was better than a lot of fights on the main card because they like were so quick.
Dude, fat boy fucking Whittaker is my new favorite fighter. He's like, I'm fat. I just have a big gut. He's like a new Roy Nelson sort of guy. Like I got kind of gut. I remember Joe was kind of commenting on it. Like I think he would have been faster if he. No, I liked how fat he was because he had this like weight and he was smart enough. He kept wiping his foot off because it was slippery in there. Maybe why Connor slipped as well. Like it was it
Oh
is
yeah,
Vegas.
you're right, brother. That's a good point because like he like what he would rub his foot on the ground and like rub it on the back of his calf. It looked really weird, but like yeah, high level fighter strategy we don't understand. Do not
He was
slip.
like a fucking praying mantis rubbing its legs together, like, hey, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking
Yeah.
face. And then it was funny too because when like when it was all said and done, like Whitaker looked gassed, like he kind of looked gassed the whole time. And I kind of feel like if it was a 5 rounder, remember when he fought RDR and they were both
Hmm.
gassed the fuck out for a 5 round? I kind of felt like Joe was right. If this was a 5 rounder, I don't know if he would have gotten the finish. But given it was three, Whitaker he
Well,
was really pushing
Whitaker,
for
he
that
didn't
finish.
look
You could
that
tell.
tired though. He looked pretty fresh even by when the fight got finished. But you're right, that 5 rounds is different, especially with a little bit of tub on him. But yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good fight. The prelims were actually pretty good. We watched most of them. Oh yeah, the next fight is Gable Steveson. He's a protege of John Jones. They train very closely together, and they always make you
The
see
gayest of
smiles at each
boys.
other. Yeah, I mean, he's a very good wrestler. I think he won like a gold medal at the Olympics and stuff. But like, look, he has those eyes. He has the same eyes as John Jones. He's like, I like to wrestle. He's a very good fighter though. And I remember the betting odds against the other guy was like crazy. It was like 8 times if you bet for the underdog, you would have made 8 times what you bet. I was kind of rooting for the underdog, and he didn't do that bad in the beginning. He was like throwing some elbows and landing some good shots because Gabe was kind of just running in there. But then Gable Stevenson, he did do the John Jones tactics. He started doing like teep kicks, messing him up to the body. He did the little knee shattering kick. What is that called? The oblique kick, where he like fucks up your leg. And he did some John Jones techniques. He didn't do any eye pokes, surprisingly. You thought that'd be like the secret weapon, but he did kick Elijah in the balls, and I think Gable did that when he was getting a little tired. John Jones strategy. Um, but yeah, he started beating him up, and he got a bunch of knees going and messed him up. So it was a good fight, though. And I actually appreciate they didn't put Gable Stevenson on the main card like they did with Bo Nickel and rush him too much because it kind of would have got him a bunch of hate like because people would be like, why is this guy in the main card? He hasn't like earned his way. But then Bobby Green the main card sucked too, so I don't know. Maybe they should just put him on the main card. What do you think, brother?
I hate to admit it, but this fucking Gable Stevenson, he can really fucking fight. I mean, he had like a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage, but yet he was doing like the Mike Tyson. He was getting in the pocket and kind of doing a shoulder roll and able to hit him. Like, and then he would slip and he was like a cat-like slip, and then he would counter. And then I remember you made a comment to me about his sprawl, where like the other guy did like a feint, and then Gable reacted so fast. He did a Olympic level sprawl, and he was so fast he was able to get up before the other guy could even do anything. Like
You're right. It
he was
looked
like
like
a
he did
cat
like
like.
a one-handed push-up and was just immediately back on his feet in like a millisecond. I was like, holy shit. Like I hadn't seen that
Dude, you know
before.
what it reminded me of? He had the speed of the Royval fight. He had the cracked up midget speed, but he's a heavyweight. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was like I gotta give. He does have a less athleticism, and people online are saying he's like an gay AI robot. How he talks is like very like weird. I feel like
Yeah.
I once I heard that I couldn't unsee it. When you see him talk, his mouth moves weird. His eyes are always scanning for cocks. Like he's always like he's like kind of
Yeah.
like jerky. He's like on meth or something. I don't know what it is about him. He's like off
Yeah.
and he's gay, and it kind of scares me. I feel like at the end when he looked into the camera, I felt like my bungus shrivel up. I'm like, oh no, don't gay boy.
Yeah,
Like I felt.
you're right, brother. His eyes are like, I could hold down anyone and get access to their bungus at any moment. I could lock on. No one to stop me. Me and John Jones have perfected this. But yeah, he's a good fighter and a private champ. And then him and like it was funny. People called them the asshole Avengers. Him, John Jones, and was it Gordon Ryan, the jiu-jitsu guy, because they trained together. They're all kind of like hated, kind of weirdos, but they're very good fighters, very good to craft. Gay Boy Stevenson probably will be champ. I think it's a matter of time. Like the heavyweight division's pretty thin, right? It's been like the same names for so long. The only ones shaken up are like Josh Hockett recently, you know what I mean? Cyril Gahn, Prairie moved up, but like a lot of them, it's like the same guys fighting for like years. They're just kind of the journeymen, like Curtis Blades, and like they cut some of them recently. But yeah, it's exciting to have some new faces in the heavyweight division to make it a little more interesting.
To your point, I think Hockett's like the new Colby Covington kind of thing. He'll just be a journeyman in the division. However, Gay Boy Stevenson, you mean when Nagano faced Gone,
Gable, it's
Nagano actually
gay Bill. All right.
Gable, yeah. When Nagano took down Gon a ton, remember that fight? I feel like Gable Stevenson will just wrestle hump Gon. Like I feel like he becomes champ easy versus Hockett. He's very hittable still, like the Curtis Blades fights. He still got hit a lot. That's not
Yeah.
gonna do well. I feel like Hockett could be like a top 5 guy, but just never
Yeah,
be
I think Gable
champ.
Steveson beats Hockett, and I don't know how Hockett does against like Sirgan. It'd be an interesting fight. He probably I don't know. Maybe his wrestling's good enough to grab him. That's it's interesting. There's finally some interesting matchups at heavyweight.
Honestly, heavyweight until Gable Stevenson and Hockett came in, I was uninterested. It was like the same guys. It's like Volkov, Sergey, like it's
Yeah.
the same gone.
You know what he
Now
is,
it's like,
brother? He's like the new DC but gay. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's Gable Stevenson. And then I don't know how old I think he's pretty a lot younger. He's like DC if DC came to UFC still in his prime because DC came pretty late. I think DC came when he was almost 30 or something like that. And like Gable Stevenson's a lot younger. That's why John Jones likes him too. But yeah, they keep gonna shake up the heavyweight division and John Jones is gonna be right there. Oh, speaking of John Jones, I remember like Conor McGregor was like walking, during some of the presser stuff, and then like John Jones like slapped him on the ass, and he's like, hee, like, yeah, someone like else I was seeing online was like, why is he slapping the ass? Well, it's John Jones. I mean, why? He likes white chocolate, okay, especially the Irish kind. But yeah, I did. That's about it for this fight. But yeah, surprisingly, this is the first prelims we like watched the whole thing because it had some good names on there. Some exciting for the casuals and the semi-hardcore fans like us. We're the king of casuals, but we like new entry people entering the field like Gateway Stevenson. But yeah, I guess we'll move into the next fight. We talked enough about Gateway Stevenson. Yeah, the other fight was Cody Garbrandt and Adrian Yañez. I hadn't heard of Adrian Yañez, and I saw it said from America when he like walked out of the flag. And I think did they say he was a Texas or Vegas? I forget what they said. But he kind of when he talked after the fight, he kind of sounded like Jorge Masvidal. He's like a little like tiny Jorge Masvidal. He's like, yeah, I'll fight anyone. Like he was talking. Too bad I don't have the clip of it, but he's a little mini Jorge Masvidal. But this fight was interesting. Like I always kind of am rooting for Cody Garbrandt. I want him to make a comeback, but he has a glass chin. He's been knocked out too much, despite all his face tattoos, you know. And like it was funny, the announcers were like, "Hey, Cody Garbrandt, he's taking hits a little bit. I think he's worked on taking hits." Like it was something stupid. I think DC was saying that he's taking the hits actually pretty good, and then like immediately like Yañez just knocks him out in like the first round. It was as predicted. I think like Cody Garbrandt's not completely washed. Every once in a while he gets a win, right? And surprises you. So it's still kind of fun watching. You're just like, is he gonna get knocked out in one shot? Let's see. What do you think, brother?
I hadn't heard about Yañez either, but apparently of those 17 wins, I think like 15 or 16 are knockouts. So he does have like legitimate power in the division. So I'm interested to see him fight again after this performance because Cody has a glass chin at this point, but even still, like Cody came out and was whooping his ass for 30 seconds and then like, oh no, I'm tired. And then Yañez like, oh, you tired? Like you're out. Like it was kind of like as soon as like Cody did his initial rush, it was kind of over after that 30 seconds. It was kind of, you kind of knew after like the other guy survived Yañez, it was like, oh, Yañez is just in control now. And it's kind of sad to see like an aging veteran like him not. Cody like beat Dominic Cruz when like nobody could, and he did the whole like dance moves after he dodged everything. There was like a time when Cody was just like untouchable, and it's
Yeah.
you know
It's over. It's over now. But I'll still watch his fights because you're like, oh, is he gonna get knocked out or not? It's like, you know, he, it's like for betting, you should more often than not just bet he's gonna lose. You'll probably win your money, because he's got the glass chin. He's like Michael Chandler's like the more sure bet though. Just bet like all next time he fights, if he does fight against Chan, I'm just like betting all my money on him losing. But yeah, I guess we'll move into the next fight. But yeah, we were happy at the time that that fight ended quickly. Like, oh yeah, let's get to Conor McGregor. But now we're sad. Oh yeah, this fight. This is where we started, and it's Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaku the third. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I don't know either of them. But they did like a little, video that tried explaining them, and then the announcers kept saying Luke Riley, he's a scouser, he's a scouser. I'm like, a scouser? Like, do they mean he knows Paddy Pimblett? So I Googled it, and he trains at the same gym, and he's a little Paddy Pimblett Jr., little Tamu Paddy Pimblett. And then Kai Kumaku the third's from like he's like Hawaiian. I'm like, oh, this is Temu Paddy Pimblett versus Temu Max Holloway. We got the Hawaiian versus Paddy Pimblett. So it was kind of interesting. And yeah, Luke Riley, he was 13-0 coming into this. I'm like, oh shit, like he must be pretty good then. Um, but yeah, like, oh, it was an interesting Kamaku the third, little Max Holloway. He had a dumb game plan. It was like Sean O'Malley versus that Zabit guy from Canada, where he's like, my game plan's to kick you in the leg, and like it was kind of working at first, like little Paddy Pimblett Jr.'s leg was all red and stuff, but then eventually, like he learns from that. He's gonna just like counter you, and he just started fucking him up and like knocked him out. So it was an entertaining fight though to start it off. What do you think, breather?
I mean, it was an early-ish stoppage was my only issue with this fight. It was a great fight, and I felt like, I mean, he did stumble after, whoever the ref was, he
Oh yeah,
did
you're
like
right.
stumble after getting it called, so I kind of felt like maybe
Yeah,
four
you're
or
right.
five more punches,
I think
but
there's Dana White privilege a little bit for these Scousers. Maybe they're like the refs are
yeah,
told. Because like you're right. The little Paddy Pimblett Jr. like knocked out Max Holloway Jr. or he stumbled him. He made him fall to his feet. And then he got back up and he was hitting him, but he hadn't fallen again. He hadn't stumbled again. He took a few punches, but like not all of them were landing. The ref just like waved it off. It's like, what? Like let him take a couple more and try to recover, right? But you know what I mean? I think it's Dana White privilege a little bit. But it wasn't like an egregious stopping, but it's like a little early. It was like this old wrinkly ref I haven't seen too much. He had like sunken eyes. I don't know what his name was. He had those tired eyes. But yeah. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, actually, folks. It's a very fast-paced card. There's all these knockouts and quick submissions, and then Conor McGregor's little elderly knees gave out. Like it like zoomed by. It ended much sooner than normal. Um, we were surprised, but it was still an entertaining card. Very disappointing with Conor McGregor. All that talk, even from the little mini Paddy Pimblett fight, they spent like 10 minutes talking about Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. They barely talked about these fighters. Like Conor McGregor's fighting later. And then they'd be like, okay, fine, a stupid fight's happening. Then they'd show the prelim fight and they'd go back to talking about Conor McGregor. But yeah. What's your overall opinion of the card, brother?
Unlike Conor McGregor, we won't honey dick you. We'll always stay true. That was my issue with this card. It was kind of like me and my brother here were so excited. Like we're excited, like one more sleep before we get to see McGregor. The last time we saw him fight was in like 2019, basically, and it was kind of like everyone was so hyped. It was sold out. Me and my brother here talked about maybe even going to Vegas to watch it. Like it was like everyone was so hyped, and now like I feel like Conor McGregor's stock is like at an all-time low. Like honestly, for the next, I mean, I'll watch it for that April fight when he's supposed to come back, but I'm not gonna have that like the Mac is back feeling that
Yeah,
time around.
people
Now,
are saying, do we even trust him to be the headliner again? Because he's so injury, his legs are so falling apart. It's like maybe he's the co-main and somebody else is the headliner. Because like it's like Conor McGregor's back for his final fight. Like, oh my bungus, I pulled my bungus. The fight's over. It's over. And then like he leaves the UFC and goes fight some bare knuckle. Like we can't really trust it anymore. It's a little sad. Sad state of affairs.
I feel like he'll still show up for his final fight, and the only reason is so he can fight like Dustin Poirier in bare knuckle boxing. I feel like he's the owner of bare knuckle. He wants the option to get out of this contract. I feel like, and here's the thing: he got through a fight for free. He didn't even have to fight. He made $16 million to be like, oh no, my knee. Like
Yeah, he's gonna be
that's pretty
crying
good.
after like drying his tears with dollar bills. Like, oh no, I didn't get your fate. Like, well, not dollar bills for him, it'd be like $100 views. But yeah, it is the sport's unpredictable. Shit happens. But oh yeah, subscribe, you fuckers. Don't forget if you like our content.